Yes.
Yes.
Can you share your screen?
Yeah. No. Yes.
Silk. Silk fibers are also animal fibers. Silkworms spin the silk fibers. The rearing of silkworms for obtaining silk is called sericulture. Ma'am, can you show? Find out from your mother and grandmother the kind of silk saris they have. List the kind of silk. Before we discuss the process of obtaining silk, it is necessary to know the interesting life history of the silk moth. Ma'am, should I continue?
Yes. Yes. Continue.
Yes. Life history of silk moth.
Bye. Shruti.
Life history of silk moth. The female silk moth lays eggs from which hatch larvae which are called caterpillars or silkworms. They grow in size, and when the caterpillar is ready to enter the next stage of its life history, called pupa, it first weaves a net to hold itself. Then it swings its head from one side to side in the form of the figure of 8. During these movements of the head, the caterpillar secretes fiber made of a now I can't see after of a protein which hardens on exposure to air and becomes silk fiber. Soon the caterpillar completely covers itself by silk fibers. This covering is known as cocoon. The further development of the moth continues inside the cocoon. Silk fibers are used for weaving silk cloth. Can you imagine that the soft silk yarn is as strong as comparable thread of steel? The silk yarn is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. There is a variety of silk moths which look very different from one another, and the silk yarn they yield is different in texture, coarse, smooth, shiny, etc. Thus, Tessar silk, Muga silk, Kosa silk, etc. are obtained from cocoons spun by different types of moths. The most common silk moth is the mulberry silk moth. The silk fiber from the cocoon of this moth is soft, lustrous, and elastic and can be dyed in beautiful colors. Sericulture or culture of silkworms is a very old occupation in India. India produces plenty of silk on commercial scale.
Yes. Thank you so much, Pearl, for reading very nicely, neatly, and slowly. So, we have already seen just through a nice animated video that what is called as sericulture. Yes, so whatever the silk we obtain from the silkworms is nothing but called as sericulture. So they have given very nicely the stages. Yes, so female silk moth, what it does, it starts laying eggs on the leaf of the mulberry tree, and then they grow in size, and then the caterpillar, like it first goes into the state of pupa. Yes, uh, then what it does, like it is first an egg, then slowly it starts eating the leaf, and with that leaf it becomes a pupa. Then once it gets grow in a proper stage at a proper level, then what happens is it starts increasing in size, and then it starts creating a thread-like structure around it. So that is what called as cocoon. Yes. And then what the cocoon does, it starts developing inside that cocoon. Yeah, cocoon is nothing but a thick covering which it makes with the help of the thread. So that thread we are going to use as a silk. So then they have told over here that there are
Ma'am, are you
variety of
saying
silk.
something?
You're not able to hear me?
No, ma'am. At middle, I can't hear you.
Ma'am, I'm able to hear you.
Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yeah. So the silk yarn is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. Then what happens, you know, the silk worm, whichever is there, it starts getting developed inside that, and then it becomes big, and then it comes outside as an adult and forms an adult. So whatever the leftover silk the part is there, the thick covering, we obtain fibers and silk and thread from that. So that is very soft, lustrous and elastic. And then different colors has been given to them so that you will get different types of silk. So everyone, do you have touch or felt the silk cloth at our home? So even the curtains which we have, the shiny curtains, yes, those are of silk. Or whatever our mom wears, the saris and sometimes dresses are also of silk. So there are different you can just observe in your cupboard also easily. Okay, let us proceed. So there is a small activity 3.5 where you have to collect silk cloth of various types and you have to paste them in a scrapbook. Then you can find them in a tailor shop among the heap of waste. So where you can find it? So you can find the cloth in the tailor shop. Many cutouts has been kept over there. Then you can take your mother or auntie so that they could help you to identify which is a silk. Yeah, such as mulberry silk, tussar silk, uri silk. Compare the texture of this silk with that artificial silk pieces which contain synthetic fibers, and then try and collect the pictures and then of different moths whose caterpillars provide the various types of silk. So you know there is not one type of silk, there are different types of silk. Mulberry silk is there, tussar silk is there, eri silk is there, mung silk is there. So these many different types of silk is there. So that is nothing but, you know, the name of the tree. Yes. So that particular tree's leaf has been used. Yeah, and on that sericulture has been done. Okay. So activity 3.6. Yes, Savi, can you read activity 3.6? Yes, Savi, are you there? Savi, I'm not able to hear you. Yeah, can you rejoin?
Yes, ma'am, I can.
Yes. Activity 3.6.
Take an artificial synthetic silk thread and a pure silk thread. Burn these threads carefully. Did you notice any difference in the smell while burning? Now burn a woolen fiber carefully. Did it smell like burning of artificial silk or that of pure silk? Can you explain why? To remember when the cocoon stage is reached, it in the life history of the silk moth, try the following activities.
नाही रे मीच आहे नाही रे मीच आहे हा दिसली हा
Sorry, everyone. So, in this, what they have told, you have to collect different samples of silk, okay, and then you have to start burning them. Okay, you all know very well how to burn. Yes, you have to just roll it in a piece of paper and then use it with the use of matchbox. You have to just burn it. Okay. Remember when the cocoon stage is reached? So, did it smell like burning or of artificial silk or that of pure silk? Can you explain why? So, you have to remember the cocoon stage, which is reached in the life history of silk moth, and you have to try the following activity. Okay, everyone. So, you have to take a artificial silk thread and a pure silk thread. So, artificial means what? It is man-made. It is not made by any of the animal, like the worm. It is not made by any worm. It is made by using some chemical processes. It has been made by man in the laboratory. So therefore, the smell comes different. Next, activity 3.7. Yes, Pearl, can you read?
Yes, ma'am. Activity 3.7. Photocopy figure 3.9. Cut out pictures of the stages of the life history of the silk moth and paste them on piece of cardboard or chart paper. Jumble them. Now try to arrange the stages in the correct sequence. Whoever does it fastest wins. You may also describe the life history in your own words. Write it down in your scrapbook.
Yeah, so you have to cut out the stages of life history of a silk moth and then you have to paste them on the piece of cardboard. Then again you have to jumble it and then you have to put it in the correct sequence. Okay. Chalo next. From cocoon to silk. So how it gets from cocoon to silk, how actually the thing happens, what happens in actual way. So we have already seen this in the video. Now just we are going to go through the activity, through the theory part. Okay. And then I'll again have a quick discussion. Yeah. So from cocoon to silk. Savi, can you read now?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
For obtaining silk, moths are reared and their cocoons are collected to get silk threads. Rearing silkworms. A female silk moth lays hundreds of eggs at a time. The eggs are stored carefully on strips of cloth or paper and sold to silkworm farmers, the farmers. Ma'am, can you scroll? The farm keep eggs under hygienic conditions.
Hygienic. What do you mean by hygienic, everyone?
Which is the place which is clean and it is clean.
Yeah, it is clean. The place which is clean, it doesn't has a dirt, here and there, no insects, no bacteria, like it is very clean. Yes, so that is what hygienic conditions, and those and also the favorable condition. So that also comes, but not typically in hygienic, but yes, hygienic means neat and clean. Okay, neat and clean. Yes. Next, and under please continue, Savi.
Suitable conditions of temperature and humidity. The eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature
Suitable temperature.
for the larvae to hatch from eggs. This is done when mulberry trees bear a fresh crop of leaves. The larvae, called caterpillars or silkworms, each day and night and increase enormously in size.
Yes. So they have now told everything which we have just read about that or seen in the video. So there is a female silk moth that lays hundreds of eggs at one time. Okay, and then they are stored very carefully on the strip of cloth or paper, and then they are sold to the silkworm farmers. Then what those farmers does, under hygienic condition, the proper humidity, so there should not be too much of humidity, there should not be too much of temperature, so it should be a favorable condition, it should not be too wet over there, the atmosphere should be good, whatever is needed. So then what happens, you might have seen a pigeon. Yes, when it lays an egg, the mother pigeon, it sits on the egg, right? Why? To give the warmness to the egg, so that the baby comes out very easily and as soon as possible. So not as soon as, but still it grows very good way. So therefore this is done. So the eggs are warmed to a suitable temperature for the larvae to hatch from the eggs, as I've told you just now. Then this done when mulberry trees, it bears a fresh crop of leaves. The larvae, which are called as caterpillars or silkworm, they eat whatever the mulberry leaf is there, they eat it completely. Day and night they eat, and they become big in size. They grow in size enormously. So then the worms are kept in clean bamboo trays along with fleshy chopped mulberry leaves. So this done for a day of 25 to 30. This is done for 25 to 30 days, and then the caterpillars stop eating, and then they are moved to a tiny chamber of bamboo, okay, in the tray to spin cocoons. So why they have kept on the bamboos? So that they will start preparing the thick coating around them. As you have seen, you know how it starts in that video, how it starts developing from both the side, from the end and the start, from both the sides, it will start developing that cocoon. And this is kept on the bamboos, okay? So small racks or twigs may be provided in trays of which cocoons get attached. The caterpillar or silkworm then spins the cocoon inside which it develops the silk moth. So accordingly, the processing silk, a pile of cocoons is obtained for obtaining silk fibers, and then the cocoons are kept under sun or boiled or exposed to steam. Why this is done, everyone? Why it is done? So that whatever the small things are which we don't need, whatever the bacterias are there in that, they will die and it would be safe to handle. So that is why, and also it is cleaned in this way. So whatever the cocoon is there, in simple word, it gets cleaned by keeping it in a hot sun or exposed to boil or steam, accordingly. Then what happens? The silk fibers, they are separated out and then the process of taking out the threads from cocoon. So moreover, when the steam has been provided to that cocoon, what happens? Whatever the larva is there, it starts getting melt. So it starts melting slowly, 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 and due to which whatever the threads are there, which has been woven by the worm inside, which is the pupa. So whatever the silk thread has been worn, it becomes very easy to uh, take it out from that cocoon. Okay. So the process of taking out threads from the cocoon for the use of silk is called as reeling the silk. Okay, everyone, what I have told you is just now, that was a process. So, like for example, you have a reel of thread. If you have a sieving machine where our grandma or our mother, they stitch the clothes. So there is a reel of thread. So you have to just take out the thread from that for your use. So in that way, the reel of silk is being obtained. Okay. Then the reeling is done by some special machines, which is unwind. Yeah. Then the threads of fibers of silk is obtained from the cocoon. Then again the silk fibers are there. They are then spun into silk threads, which are woven into silk cloths by weavers. So I'll show you a chakra. So you might have seen Gandhiji with the chakra. See, I'll show you the picture. So that is what the chakra is there. So accordingly, those are called as weavers. So with the help of weavers, what happens, everyone? The silk cloth is being made. I'll show you an image. Okay. Till the time, let's start writing the keywords. So has your school provided you the question answers for this chapter?
Yes, ma'am.
No, ma'am, not for me. We haven't started this chapter.
Yes, Pearl?
Yes,
Someone
ma'am.
said, have you all got the question answers from school, or should I give you?
Ma'am, I didn't get.
Ma'am, I have from my school.
Everything they have provided you, Savi?
Yes, ma'am. The keywords and question answers.
The exercise, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have the PDF for you then. Paul,
Yes, ma'am.
just a minute, let me pause.